reality was the guy that they wanted either long or some injury here or there. But the thing is when you play on an inferior team, which he played on, Cal was inferior to almost every single team that they played from a talent standpoint. So when your offensive line isn't as good, when your wide receivers aren't as good, as a quarterback, in order to give your team a chance to win, you have to be really, really, really good. When you watch Carson Beck sometimes, or even Mendoza now on a good team, he drops back and he passes the ball. He takes a 5-step drop, a 3-step drop, and he passes the ball 3, 4, 5 times before he throws the ball. When he was at Cal, it was like catch the ball and it's got to go. And when it's like that, you learn how to process information quickly. You learn how to make quick decisions, decisive decisions. You learn how to throw the ball all kinds of different ways to give your receivers a chance to catch the ball, because you have to throw it early. You got to anticipate. You got to throw to spots. You got to throw blind because of just the talent level on the team. And so I think that experience has really, really helped him now that he's on a good team. I think he stands back there and feels like, wow, this is easy. I have all day to throw the ball. I got receivers that are winning one-on-one matchups. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of quarterbacks out there, like that. When you turn on these, games with these Ohio State, Alabama, these good teams, it's like not only does the quarterback stand back there with 20 seconds to throw the ball, but then he's got receivers running wide open with no. in the game. Call plays and do. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. But as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I think he's played a couple snaps. Situation.
All right. It wasn't impossible last night from the guys for Los Angeles, walking into the Bears' den and playing in really significant bad weather. And Matthew matchup with Seattle.
Offices and coaching staffs. I think that if you do a Cardinal viewpoint of this, you look at it, man, Mike Grace, how quickly they got it turned around in New England. So it just goes to show you again, quarterback that people thought was done okay. All of a sudden, competency comes in, and now he's playing at an MVP caliber as well. Take me, right? So, James, you're the Cardinals, and look at this, like, we're not that far away from the right people in here. But I just ultimately think that with the history of both, I think it almost seems unmountable to beat that situation. So look at the NFL, you don't ever know. Clarity is what they want most from that. They've done a great job. But man, I would be shocked if the Broncos can find a way to win the game. It's pretty tough.
It's always good, pal, when we catch up with you. Great insight. Thank you, man. Enjoy the game tonight. There you go. Rudy Carpenter, everybody. All right, we are hanging out today here at DraftKings. That's right, located right at the TPC where the WM Phoenix Open is going to be played in just a few weeks. And speaking of which, we will be here on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of the Phoenix Open. So when you're going to go check out the golf, just stop in and say hi. Manuch will indeed take pictures and sign autographs for free.
Absolutely. It's my gift to the Valley. That's right.
Why don't I?
If it's free, it's for me, and I'll take free.
Yes, I know you will. We're coming right back, everybody. A little on this day in football at 50. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from DraftKings, ESPN 620 on the FM dial 98.7, HD-2, and on the Arizona Sports app.
When it comes to sushi, limitation
He must have called on a landline. He was really clear there.
Really clear. Either that or he's on the computer. Yeah. That's what it sounds like to me.
The course, providing reliable expertise you can count on. With over 60 years of experience and our legendary 90-day guarantee, we've always been
Jimmy B. PC Scottsdale on Monday, January's biggest game. Every Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Make sure you're locked in. Building one of the
Football playoff game tonight, and it's going to be a sensational good time. You can come in, hang out. Food is great. Drinks are even better. The patio, it'll be a beautiful, beautiful evening to watch the college football national championship game tonight. All right, let's do a little on this day, Manuch.
All right, on this day, January 19th, happy MLK Day, folks, by the way.
Yep.
Back in 1972, Sandy Koufax, the Dodgers Hall of Famer left-hander, retired at an early age of 30, became the youngest player ever elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame at age 36. I did not know that. 2002, the famous, I'm sorry, Raider fans. I got to do it.
Okay.
January 19th, 2002, the famous tuck rule game. An AFC divisional playoff matchup between the Patriots and Raiders. Oakland Raiders was played on this date. While controversial due to the rule interpretation, it became an iconic moment in Patriots history. Okay, I played the game forever.
Yep.
You called the game forever.
Uh-huh.
I played the National Football League for 3 years. I had never heard of the tuck rule ever in my life of playing. We never talked about it. We never discussed it. We always were told that if you step up in the pocket, make sure you got both hands on the ball, you can secure it. Remember Joe Ferguson back in a Fergie, the guys that saw had the ball knocked out of their hand. That was a fumble in my world. So it must have been a reverse universe for that to happen. So there lies. Pats go on to win in overtime, and the rest is history for the New England Patriots.
Manuch, as you referenced, I've called a lot of games, maybe 6, 7, maybe even as many as 800. And doing a lot of NFL games, I never had ever seen anything like the tuck.
And I will say this, all of us players, and I'm sure broadcasters, you get the rule book.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, it's pretty thick. And this must have been on page 225, Title A, Verse 5,
Addendum.
Double D addendum. Because I've gone through it. We were always aware. We used to have the officials come in.
Yeah.
So if there was ever something with the quarterbacks or the linemen or whatever, it was, guess what? And oh, by the way, there was never any oh, by the way for the tuck rule. So, sorry, Raider fans, that was 2002 on January 19th. That's
All right.
on this day, Jimmy.
That's perfect. I loved it. Let's do a little football in 50 as we are broadcasting live today from DraftKings at TPC.
That's right, the big one, Miami, Indiana. That'll be coming on at 5:30 local, 7:30 Eastern time from the Hard Rock Cafe Stadium, if you will.
That's it.
Again, this is one of the most anticipated games, I would say, in a long time because of the story of Indiana. And Miami left for dead, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago.
Yes.
And the introspection of this game. Mario Cristobal, the prodigal son, goes back to Miami, resurrects that situation. Carson Beck led Georgia to a national title a couple of years ago. He's the quarterback. This kid named Fernando Mendoza transfers from Cal. Who?
Cal.
That Fernando Mendoza?
Yeah.
Leads the charge. There's a guy by the name of Signetti. Yeah, that's Signetti. That was on the staff of Nick Saban. He went to small college, built up his resume, went to James Madison, won there. All of a sudden, they hire him in Indiana. And again, everybody goes, who? Signetti, who? And lo and behold, 2 years later, after going to the playoffs last year, and then this year, here they are in the Natty. It is this is number one, Indiana. One of the most remarkable stories I've ever seen in college football. I'll say sports history, let alone. And then here comes the U. The U is relevant again.
And the U is definitely back. There are so many turns and twists to this. Cristobal and Fernando Mendoza's father played football together. Fernando Mendoza is from Miami. That's where he grew up.
He grew up 2 miles, I believe 2 miles from
the stadium. Yeah.
Catholic school there.
Yeah.
And the football gods are smiling down on us.
Great.
What serendipity has arrived for this? I mean, it is so much fun. So if you're not doing anything, want some great food, want to place a wager or two, come on out here to DraftKings here at TPC in Scottsdale. Some of the notes here that you look at, Miami's going to be without their tight end, Elijah Lofton. He'll be out due to an injury. Also, when you look at some of the things that Indiana has going on, you would never have thought you see some of the things going in Indiana and that they'd be able to handle the NIL money that Miami is getting. So all these players are paid very well, first and foremost. So when you think of that, when you look at all the things surrounding it, I think you truly have the two best teams in college football playing tonight.
I'm with you on that 100%. Let's go to the NFL. And the reason I want to do that is because the Arizona Cardinals have dropped another peg in the pecking order in the search for a new coach. The Buffalo Bills firing McDermott today. Also, former Arizona offensive coordinator Drew Pensing. He's got himself a job. He's now with the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, he is. And, he didn't take long for him to pick up. And I think Dan Campbell said, you know what, this is nice, but I need to manage the entire game.
Yeah.
So, I guess for Drew Petzing, here's another shot for you. Now, he's got players. Got a quarterback.
Yeah.
He's got players. Now, that system should work. Now, I think it worked with Jacoby Brissett. They moved the ball. They threw the ball. But now they have an offensive line. They have a running game. So Drew Petzing should be productive, should do very well with Detroit. Buffalo Bill fans, hey, I love you. Bills Mafia. This does not surprise me that Sean McDermott was let go. I truly felt that Terry Pagula, the owner, felt if you didn't have your top 3 or 4 quarterbacks who've been to Super Bowls, who are the alpha omegas in the AFC, I think they pretty much felt that, hey, look, we should be able to get it done with Josh Allen. He's the last bastion of alpha quarterbacks that are left in this National Football League. Of course, Drake May up for the MVP. But look at the record of Josh Allen. Then you got Jarrett Stidham. He's going to start for the Denver Broncos. I think the Pagula said, Sean, you had a great run here. What, 9 years?
9 years.
9 years. You had a great run. You took him you just couldn't get it done. Couldn't get over the hump.
Get to the Super.
Couldn't get to the Super Bowl. And there's already a lot of individuals that are being courted already by the Buffalo Bills. And you just mentioned something. The Arizona Cardinals have fallen another rung.
Yeah.
They're now the last worst team as far as trying to get a coach because these other coaches that were in line, Robert Saleh and some of the other guys that are out there, all of a sudden, they're in play for the Buffalo Bills. Now, they talked about Brian Dable, former offensive coordinator for the Bills, who went to the Giants from Buffalo, has a good shot. They had, Brady might be going to Baltimore. So there's a lot of individuals out there that are now not looking at the Cardinals and going back to the top because this Bill job is everything. And by the way, Kevin Stefanski, head coach at Atlanta now, and you have Matt Ryan as the president, and it has been signed, still delivered for John Harbaugh as the head coach of the Giants.
Unbelievable how this is all playing out. But it's all about college football tonight here at DraftKings at TPC. Come on out. This place is going to be jumping for this game tonight. We are here until 4 o'clock. When we come back, college football Hall of Fame coach Jim Donnan is going to be with us. Later on in our next hour, we'll do some fact for Fouhy, as well as ABC 15 Sports Director Craig Fouhy will be our guest. Once again, hanging out today at DraftKings until 4 o'clock this afternoon. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN Radio 620 and on the Arizona Sports app.
You know what's a great New Year's resolution for sports?
Yeah, all of a sudden those guys are going to start getting calls going, okay, Arizona, we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
TV and appliance. They have great selection. All the major name brands you're looking for. No match price for their service expertise is their local shopping local reason matters is always
percent more odor fighters and up to 30% formula. So now 100% more stinky odors, like sweaty gym bags. And the after effects of the dog rolling around in some.
Wow.
This message Delicate Viking Longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, on board and on shore, with small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination. More time to explore, and every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com. Perfect thing. Yay! It always sells out.
In the now, reserve your table today and pick the
Right in front of a massive LED wall, or surrounded by the high TV. Right now, you guys call for acceptance. Every week.
Down the
It's been their MO wherever he's coached. Different ways he's coached it, and they're just type team and elite player. Going to be the first guy chosen. I know last year we watched him at Georgia against Auburn in the first half, and corner is going to be out because missed about 10 days.
Coach, being a Hall of Fame coach and preparing your teams at Marshall and Georgia for this kind of a game, big game, maybe not a national title, but I mean something very similar with the great rivalries you had. How do you prepare? How do you, as a head coach, how do you think either you would do it or Coach Cincinnati gets these guys ready for this game?
This Miami, and it's never happened before, has a home game. They're playing at their home stadium. Look, everybody knows.
What are the odds?
Yeah,
right?
I know that the Indiana Hoosier fans have invaded Florida. We know that. But with that being so familiar with that stadium, that field, is that really any kind of an advantage for the games or not really?
Coach, you've watched Carson Beck for a few years there at Georgia. When you watch him, it looks like he's completely healthy. I don't know if he's driving the ball as well as he did with that UCL injury that he's fixed. But when you watch Beck over the last few years of being a former Georgia head coach and being a former Georgia quarterback, what is it he does so well that can really hurt this defense of Indiana?
The stretch against Ole Miss, he can throw the vertical pass over the middle with a lot of velocity. All these teams running these different covers now, they're playing that inverted cover two, where they make it think you're playing cover two, and then walk your corners in and keep the safeties maybe over the top a little more. You got to be able to drive the ball in there, and he can do that. And the one thing he's got is he's got more than one receiver, and he's got a back that can pound it and set up their play action. But
Yes, you've done it. Our guest on the right Toyota guest line. Okay, Coach. While this game is going to be played tonight, the Big Ten AD and the SEC AD have been in meetings, and they have until this Friday to come up with a plan of expanding the college football playoffs to 16 teams or leaving it where it is right now at 12. Right now, Becky of the SEC, he doesn't like what Tony
money on NIL, and they're very competitive with the SEC. And regardless of why we lost or why we hadn't, we got to get teams in there. And I think you're going to be more and more teams available, like Texas Tech this year, to spending the money. There'll be some teams that jump up there next year. And if you limit it to 12 and don't get 16, you might be left out of the ball game because you didn't spend enough money, but you got a good young team. So I think you got to go to 16 and then see where it goes from there. And hopefully we'll find some way to stop this wrecking ball that we got as far as everybody taking everybody's players. No, they're supposed to have a cap, but they're spending money like crazy everywhere around the country. So you got to be a stop there somewhere. So 16 is good for me.
Coach, do you feel that, and the last question for you, I always appreciate your time, that you're going to see more from the outhouse, from the penthouse with NIL deals to get enough players?
No doubt. I mean, it's pretty obvious. You look what's happened. You see some of these teams, Indiana in particular, it wasn't necessarily because of the money. The first year, they just got an influx of good players from James Madison. But this year, I mean, you had the players that they got with Fernando, and then the guys they got coming in for next year look like a who's who around the country.
Clear to toss.
The agency from college football, so they're going to be good again if this quarterback from that they're bringing in from TCU's the same kind of player. So everybody's changing. I mean, you look at a guy like Sam Levitt leaving. I mean, the demand for him, and you can't blame these kids, though. I mean, back in the day, you at K-State, you'd have got at least $3 million on the portal.
And then I'd have woke up from that dream, Coach. I thought it'd be closer to 300.
Your arm, and that's before inflation. I mean, you'd probably be that was back in the old days. You'd have got that. These guys don't give you enough credit for the kind of quarterback you were and all the guys you developed. But you got to get old Brock Purdy some help there. I mean, these guys look like they're walking wounded the other night.
Yeah, I think the dam finally broke for the 49ers. And Coach, you would have loved this Coach Brock. He was one of the finest, nicest young men you could ever imagine. He was like me as well as far as studying every player on the defense, knowing what their GPA was, knowing if they'd choose bubblegum or bazooka one way or the other. If there's one thing you installed in me, Coach, I installed now, is the mental side of the game. Know who you're playing, know where you're going with football. And I think that there's some shortcomings with a lot of quarterbacks like that nowadays, not having the total mental preparation. But Brock, those guys do.
I would say in coaching these young guys, I would do 65 mental to 35 because you just can't catch the ball and throw it like all these teams are saying. They're, high school teams on this run and shoot and the spread stuff. I mean, there's not anybody winning around the country that's running the pure spread. I mean, you look at these two teams tonight, they know how to pro protect. They know how to dish the ball off on the zones when you get zone pressure. And what happens, these teams that throw these RPOs, when they get a long yardage play or get behind the sticks, their offensive linemen can't pass pro because all they do is run the running plays, and then if it's the run's not there, the quarterback throws it. So I'm a great proponent of the body can achieve what the mind can perceive.
By the way, Roc gives his best. He had the tough assignment to have to go to the national title game on behalf of the Fiesta Bowl, all the Yellow Jackets there. So he gives his best, but he apologizes.
Yeah, you just tell Roc that sometime that I'm going to be 81 on January 29th, that sometime in the next 5 years, and you and Jimmy B have me on there, and that's great, but I'd like to just hear his voice to know that he really is living. So tell him he's putting me down, but he's, I don't know, I'm not on his number one list, but I enjoy being on with you guys, and I appreciate you having me on, and hopefully Georgia Bulldogs will be back in the game next year. The one thing we have been able to do, and I'll give a little promo to Kirby, last year we lost about 27 players in the portal. This year we've only lost 12, so we've been able to retain most of our players and get some younger guys, so hopefully we'll be able to get back in there and have a chance again. So, but it's always good to be on with you guys.
Coach, you are number one with us. You never have.
Love you, Coach.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. There you go, everybody. Right. Yeah, that's Jim Donnan, former Marshall head coach, former Georgia coach. By the way, he is in the National Football College Hall of Fame as well. Great breakdown of everything. We are hanging out today here at DraftKings at TPC. We're going to be here until 4 o'clock. This joint is going to be jumping tonight for the college football championship game. Make sure you get out here a little early because, trust me, we already have folks here, and it's already starting to fill up. So you need to get to TPC DraftKings and watch the championship game tonight. When we come back, Arizona Hardwood Report. We'll talk college basketball on the local level. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620, FM 98.7, HD2 on the Arizona Sports App.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B as they broadcast live before the national championship from DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale on Monday, January 19th. Watch college football's biggest game in an electric atmosphere with massive wall-to-wall screens, great food and drinks, and a full sportsbook experience. Get there early, grab a seat, and soak in the energy. From VIP cabanas to the outdoor patio and fire pits, the road to a national title runs through Scottsdale. Monday, January 19th at DraftKings with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from ESPN Radio 620. Must be 21 years or older to wager. Gambling problem? Call 1-800. Next step.
The biggest game of the year is coming, and at Backyard Desert Ridge, it always sells out. Lock in the best seat in the house now. Reserve your table today and pick the perfect spot, right in front of the massive LED wall or surrounded by more than 50 high-def TVs. Great food, ice-cold drinks, and wall-to-wall action so you don't miss a single play. Every year fills up fast, and once it's gone, it's gone. Don't wait. Swing by Backyard Desert Ridge and secure your big game seat today.
Everybody loves the season of giving, but now the season of paying for it is upon us. That not so wonderful time of the year when millions of Americans open their credit card statements, stare in horror at the balance, and resolve then and there to find new ways to save money. If you're among those Americans, why not start by cutting your wireless bill in half right now with Pure Talk's Saver Plan? It's easy. You'll get unlimited talk, text, and 3 gigs of high-speed data on a super-fast, nationwide 5G network for just $20 a month. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Ho, ho, ho! And if you're active or former military or a first responder, you'll save an additional 20% every single month. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe for the gift that keeps on saving from America's wireless company. Pure Talk.
When I grow up, I want to be a ballerina.
Because dancing makes me happy. I get to entertain people, and nothing makes me feel more like me.
PI, a defect of the immune system, affects millions of children. Early and accurate diagnosis and treatment Give children like Olivia a chance to achieve their dreams.
It takes a great team to put on a show. It also takes a great team of caring people to keep a dream alive. And now my dreams are coming true.
For more information, visit the Jeffrey Modell Foundation at info4pi.org.
Back at DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale, the Valley's premier place to watch the games, enjoy great food and drinks, and take in the atmosphere right off the famous 16th hole. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B continue on ESPN 620 Phoenix.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We're going to get into our hardwood report for you. We'll talk GCU, ASU. We'll do a little Northern Arizona, and of course, the number one team in the country, U of A. But before we start that, here is something that I have for you right now. Of course, we are here tonight for the college football championship game here at DraftKings. However, how would you like to win a DraftKings gift card? We have a DraftKings gift card for you. Here's all you have to do. Just call right now at 602-230-0620. That's 602-230-0620. When you talk to Connor, who will take your call, give him your final score prediction, the winner, and the final score prediction. Now, how are you going to win? If you're the closest to the win final score, then you're going to get the gift card that's right here from DraftKings. Once again, here's that phone number. You got a good chance to win at 602-230-0620. Do it now. And good luck. All right, Manuch, little hardwood report right now. Look, you and I both kind of sampled that Grand Canyon game on the campus of GCU, the Global Study Unit. The place was jumping with great style, and the Lopes, after a bad second half that they had at New Mexico, and they lost that game, come back, and they knocked off the top 25 ranked team.
Yeah, number 23, as a matter of fact, and the place is used
jumping over there at Global Credit Union Arena. Folks, by the way, when they went this game, they stormed the players. I think it's fun to see that. Yeah, they went at 84-74. The Lopes shoot 51% as a team. The Aggies 36%. Now, a lot of that was the tenacious defense that Coach Drew had on this team, and they came in there. And this team, I think that's the point you bring up. A little embarrassing the way they lost to New Mexico. Yes. I think that they were fired up, but Brian Moore Jr. and Micaiah Williams scored 20 points. They paced the offense, while Asujo Anani's energy and hustle pretty much helped this team. You look at pretty much the way that they came after it. The tenaciousness was there for the entire game, I thought. And when I looked at this Grand Canyon team, they only played 8 guys. The Bryce group, he wanted to win this game. Jordan the bench. As I mentioned, Williams comes off the bench, 20 points. And then you look at Moore Jr. with 20 points. Really consistency. And, they're up 42-36 at the half. So their goals were outscored. And they did it again. That scored them 42-38. They never allowed the Utah State team back in the game. Matter of fact, they made a little bit of a run there. They did in that second half. And then the Lopes come back with a couple of big baskets. Specifically, you saw Moore hit a couple of key baskets that were really something that really kind of came into effect toward the end of the game. A couple slam dunks, a couple defensive blocks, game set match. Let the court storming begin at Global Credit Union Arena over there at Grand Canyon College. The number one team in the country, U of A Wildcats, difficult road game. They went to Central Florida to play against the Golden Knights, and this was a contest where UCF, they're not a great college basketball team, but they're not bad. And they battled U of A in that game, but it is indeed a victory for the Wildcats as they remain undefeated and obviously the clear number one team in the country.
It's interesting. Torpedo only had 4 points.
Yeah, had a bad game.
They really, I'm going to say manhandle him. UCF did. And I think this is what pretty much the halfway point of the season, they're going to conference play. You know, a freshman coming in, you mentioned this for Jimmy about a month and a half ago, the kind of physicality, he's 19, these guys are 22, 23, 24. These are men he's going against. I just wonder if he might be a little tired. He might hit the wall a little bit. But then you see that everybody else picked him up. Previous is 17. Burries has 18. And then Bradley, Mr. Clutch. I mean, he is on a roll. He has 23 points. But this game literally was close, going back and forth, back and forth. So it was all about, hitting 3-point shots when you had to. You were paying. We're sweet for 32. But they hit a couple shots. They were 53% from the field. They didn't take so many 3-point shots, which was interesting to see. I think that Coach Lloyd said, look, guys, we're cold. Let's go down low, which they did. Let's start the intermediary shots, which they did. And you see the difference. So they really backed off in the 3-point shooting. And on top of that, U of A missed 10 free throws, right? They missed 10 free throws. Well, if you allow somebody to hang around, they'll make a run, but you've got to make those free throws. And don't we all know, when it comes to the NCAAs, what's important? Play down low, defense, and he makes your free throws. Finally in 40. I think the Bible lesson was written by the Wildcats and going to Florida. And I got to tell you what, lucky to come out with this to Don Mark.
So during some of the timeouts during the football game, I flipped over to watch Arizona State against Manuch. I shouldn't have done that. It was a disaster. I flipped on. They were down by 33 in the second half. They ended up losing by 30, 103 to 73. The game was over at halftime. It was an absolute right.
Yeah, it really was. And one of the culprits was the turnovers. They had 7 turnovers, that being ASU. And on top of that, they got out rebounded 33 to 30. You look at the offensive rebounds. You look at 15 offensive rebounds by Houston to Jimmy B. I don't even say this. I say these yes, but I think the Houston's the number 7 ranked team in the nation. Pretty much could have had a better game with their second 13. I'm not demeaning San Double Valley, but don't get me wrong. But the noticeable difference when you watch their players and then their players off the bench. I mean, you got dudes from 1 to 15 on this team. But you're right. Excuse me, they're right. They were really outmanaged from the get-go. And you get outscored 56-29 in the first half. And yeah, you got 44 points in the second half, a lot of garbage time. But they had their backup second-stage teamers. And what I love doing is the 7th-ranked team could go ahead and rest. Pretty much rest the second half of that. The second half of the second half.
Right, so Northern Arizona struggling on the road. They lost 53 to 52 to Portland State. So it's just one problem after the next right now for the Lumberjacks. Portland State's pretty good basketball team, but NAU can really make who struggle to find their way in Big Sky Conference.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We'll catch up Mick Stroman, the play-by-play voice for the Lumberjacks. It's almost like 2 steps forward and 5 steps back. They just can't make a break. These other teams take care of the basketball. They're just more dominant down low. And I think one of the things you see with NAU, not that they don't have the players per se, they don't have the size, and they can't make a run and sustain a lead. And that's what you saw at Portland State this last week.
That's our husband's report. Everybody, it's presented by Backyard Desert Ridge. Hey, look, it's a big game. Always sells out. Right now in Backyard, you can reserve your table. Grab the best seat in front of the LED wall, where those screens are unbelievable. We were there this past Friday. This place is great. You don't want to second in action. Just stop by Backyard Desert Ridge today and personally select your seat for the upcoming big game. And it's going to be first part of February. All right, we are here at DraftKings at DPC. We will broadcast here at DraftKings until 4 o'clock this afternoon. But we come back next Fouhy with Fouhy. Right now, let's get you to an ESPN.
It's time for your Roc and Manuch with Synergy ESPN 620 Sports Center update. On that roundtable, Detroit Lions have hired Cardinals offensive coordinator Drew Petchen, their new OC after 3 seasons in Arizona, creating yet another coaching vacancy for the Cardinals this offseason. Tonight is the College Football National Championship as the Miami Hurricanes take on the Indiana Hoosiers from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Kickoff is set to 5:30, and you can catch all the action right here on ESPN 620 AM Phoenix. The biggest game is the biggest screens. Don't just watch the national championship, live it at DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale. We're talking over 3,400 square feet of video walls, best game day food in the valley, and non-stop action. The WM Phoenix Open is next, so the energy is already electric. Check them out at 480-866-8476 or visit their official website to reserve your spot. Fouhy joins the guys next.
Life's a sprint. You need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G protein bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G protein bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
At Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, we understand the tradition of golf, the joy of passing the game from one generation to the next. Since 1963, we've been helping families like yours enjoy the game of golf. Our expert team will help you find all the golf gear, shoes, and apparel you need. With over 60 years of experience and our legendary 90-day guarantee, we've always been here to help you get there. Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get there.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
For over a century now, Ford has been part of America. In my family, it's been generations. Paul Calvisi here. My grandfather worked for Ford Motor. My first car, a classic Mustang, still have it. But going to our Desert Ford dealers today means getting more than a vehicle. We're talking a full suite of benefits like complimentary Ford mobile service or try Ford pickup and delivery. Yes, to and from your door, and it's easy scheduling in the Ford Pass app. Top.
Always good to go.
Ford Top. More than a slogan, it's an identity of the F-Series trucks. And the all-new 2026 F-150 is the best yet. With a completely redesigned interior and exterior adventure. How about the Ford Bronco Sport? It says, let's get it, with 5 available trims so you can forge your own path. We recently bought a new Explorer at our Desert Ford dealers. Love the flexible seating up to 7. All the cargo room, the advanced tech. Bottom line, Ford is the future at our Desert Ford dealers. Just click buyfordnow.com.
It's time for Fact or Fouhy with ABC 15 Sports Director Craig Fouhy. Fouhy joins the guys each Monday to break down the top stories of the weekend. And as a reminder, Manuch writes the questions. Now here's ABC 15's Craig Fouhy.
With them, you can follow him on Fouhy on Sports. Fouhy, how are you, pal? You ready for tonight?
How we doing, Coach?
Happy Monday, fellas. What's going on?
Well, it's going to be a great game that we hope this evening. This past weekend was absolutely sensational. Before we get to the factor thing, now the OC at Detroit. Did you see that coming?
Yeah, Drew Petzing wasn't going to stick around. Listen, there's no way you fire Gannon and you don't get rid of half of the staff at least, right? So I don't think anybody's going to miss Drew around here. I think the biggest downfall for Drew Petzing was not being able to design an offense around Kyler Murray, that he was still stuck in the NFL old school ways. No offense to Dan Manucci. But it's a new game, and it's when you have a guy with Kyler's skill set, it wasn't something that Petzing really could grasp or get his brain around. So I think, he wanted a Jacoby Brissett, 6'4", 240-pound quarterback that can under center and take snaps and stand in the pocket. And that was his offense since he got here, and we never saw the fruition of anything great with Kyler Murray behind center. So I didn't see that as any surprise, him leaving. I was surprised that he got picked up.
And to that point, Coach, do you think that what Jacoby Brissett seeing Dan Campbell seeing that offense move the ball down the field, up the field, what have you, knowing he's got a big quarterback, knowing he's got a running game, that model, that apparatus would fit with Detroit?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, you've got Jared Goff, you've got a team that's tough. They like to run the football. Dan Campbell's got that tough as nails mentality as a head coach, and so you bring in a guy like Petzing. Okay, he's had 3 years experience calling plays, and now he's got a different quarterback in a different style, a different size, and so that's a good thing. I mean, that's good for him, and Dan Campbell will have a short leash on him. I'll guarantee you that.
Hey, last one before we get to Factor Fouhy with ABC 15 Sports Director Craig Fouhy. Sean McDermott out on Buffalo. Number one, did that surprise you? And number two, does that drop the Cardinals down to number 8 teams left at the number 8 spot?
Yeah, I mean, listen, that was to me, and Sean McDermott had a great argument on that game in overtime with the interception call. That was such a bad call. The receiver was clearly down, had possession. It was a first down for them, and they gave it away, right, to the Broncos. And so I just thought that was an egregious call, no call on the officials' part, or a mistaken call. But Sean McDermott has done nothing but great things in Buffalo. And so you leave a guy because he hasn't been able to get you to a Super Bowl. But my goodness, he put that team on the map for the last 8-9 years. And I think this year the pressure was on when the Kansas City Chiefs exited early. I think everybody thought in Buffalo, hey, our nemesis is gone. They're done. Now we got a clear path to the Super Bowl, and it didn't happen. And so it's a tough one, but Sean McDermott is clearly going to be a highly sought-after head coach with his experience and what he's been able to do in Buffalo. But, yeah, the Cardinals are still probably the worst pick out of the 8 jobs that are open currently. The Cardinals are in last place.
All right, let's do a little Factor Fouhy then right now. Aside from the Seahawks-49ers game, the divisional playoffs have now proved the NFL has finally reached parity, which they have been seeking for decades. Factor Fouhy.
I'm going to say Fouhy on that because they've had parity for the last 20 years. I mean, come on, ever since the salary cap and the trade deadline and the draft, they've had parity for a long, long time. I don't think this proved anything to us. I like the fact that you saw other teams in there, right? The Houston Texans were playing. The Buffalo Bills were playing, which is a team that's been there for a long time. But now you've got the Rams, the 49ers, and Seahawks, who are all in it, 3 from the NFC West. I think that the NFL has sought parity. They've gotten parity, and they've had it for a long time. This is just, it's kind of nice to see different teams coming up and playing in the playoffs a little bit besides the same old teams.
Sure.
Like college where the Blue Bloods always win.
All right, Coach, you alluded to this just a couple minutes ago. The firing of Bills head coach Sean McDermott has made that job the top job available and will eliminate any of the top qualified candidates to be hired by the Cardinals. Fact or food?
Well, in fact, but listen, there's 3 or 4 other jobs, right, that are good. I mean, you've got Baltimore that's a good job. You've got Pittsburgh that's a good job. You've got now you really have in Buffalo a great job. And so you've got 3 jobs there. The Oakland Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders, who have the number 1 pick in the draft, also have a number of weapons, and they have a nice stadium there. They've got a nice fan base, a national fan base for the Raiders. That's a decent job now because of what you have at the first pick. So there's better jobs available than the Arizona Cardinals, and the Cardinals are hoping that they can find somebody to come in here that wants it, and they'll find somebody because there's only 32 jobs.
Somebody, thanks, Coach. Thanks for that.
No, really, let's be real here.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah.
Losing franchise, 7 winning seasons in 38 years in the desert doesn't make you a top job. And you don't have a quarterback. You're not sure what you're doing at quarterback. Your defense has been less than advertised with all they spent on it last year. You've got a general manager who now is kind of a lame duck. We'll see what he's able to do in the future years here, in this year and next. But yeah, it's not a great job when you look at it across the country.
That's why we have him on the show. Okay, question number 3. If Indiana beats Miami tonight in the final game of college football, they'll go down as the greatest college football program rise in history. Fact or Fouhy?
Fact, and they will win tonight.
Okay.
I don't listen. Indiana's a juggernaut right now. They play all 3 phases of the game: offense, defense, special teams. They're solid. Miami will give them a good game because Carson Beck has a lot of experience in these kind of games, in playoff games and championship games. But I think Indiana's the better team. I think they're coming in now at 7.5-point favorites. Is that right?
8.5.
8.5. They opened at 8.5. I don't know what it got bet. I know Miami. I saw earlier today, Miami people were betting Miami a little bit, so maybe it may have dropped. But you guys are at the DraftKings, so you know better. But yeah, I don't think anybody's going to beat Indiana, and they are under Kirk Cignetti the best 2-year turnaround in college football history, maybe in all sports history.
All right, Coach. Without Jalen Green the first half of the season, except for a quarter and a half or a game and a half, the Suns, currently in 7th place, have become the biggest surprise in the NBA Western Conference. Fact or Fouhy?
Absolutely, fact. They are. Jalen Green's played 2 games. He's seen the court in 2 games. So that's all we have is 2. We've got a small sample size of Jalen Green. Devin Booker's played 37 out of 42 games, something like that. This team has been anything but. I mean, what I'm trying to say here is we thought there was going to be a rebuilding, right?
Yes.
It's been anything but a rebuild this year.
Correct.
So the Suns are playing really well. Jordan Ott does a great job on the floor with this team. They're playing for him. And Brian Gregory, again, I've said that with you guys before. Brian Gregory's done a great job building this roster from what it was 6 months ago. And we had lunch with him this summer, late summer, and he asked us, a few of us, what we thought the team would be. I thought maybe you'll get 40 wins, right? They're already up there in the 20s. Yeah. This team is unbelievable. So I'm surprised, and they're a great story here locally.
They really are, no question. Okay, final one. Diamondbacks' acquisition of third baseman Nolan Arenado will help solidify a wild card run in the NL West. Fact or Fouhy?
Oh, man, a wild card run?
Yeah.
Fouhy on that. Listen, it's all about pitching, right? And I think Nolan Arenado was a no-brainer for Mike Hazen because there's not a lot of risk. The Cardinals are paying him a bunch of that salary. He's a savvy veteran. He's older. He's in his 30s, and so he may not be an everyday player, but he's going to bring some leadership to the clubhouse. He's going to bring some savvy to the team, but it's still about pitching. And when your ace is down, you're bringing in, some guys that you hope can end up pitching. Merrill Kelly now, it looks like at this point he's their ace instead of a 3. So I just think until you get Corbin Burns back, which may be halfway through the season at best, it's still about pitching in Major League Baseball. And I don't know if you can just say Nolan Arenado is going to get this team to the wild card. I'm not sure.
Coach, with 3 weeks till spring training, pitchers and catchers, still a lot of free agents out there, especially one Zach Gallen. What do you think? You see the dam breaking maybe a week before pitchers and catchers report?
It always does. It always does, right? You get your back against the wall. Pitchers and catchers are coming out, February 12th, I think, something like that. So it always does. Right before that, you start saying, "Oh man, look at our roster. We don't have what we need." So we'll see what happens. But I think Mike Hazen works all the way through spring training, right, and obviously up to the trade deadline to figure out what's best for this team. Hard to knock what he and Torey Lovullo have been able to do with this roster over the last few years. I'm glad Torey's coming back for another year, and we'll see what Mike's able to do in terms of. I don't think the owners are really stopping him from going out and finding prospects and finding help. But we'll see what he's able to do right as they get closer to the reporting date.
Okay, we'll let you go on this. So your pick tonight is Indiana or Miami. Okay, big
Indiana. I'm going to say 34-28.
Oh, you got it close. That's a great game if that's the case.
So what's the big plan there, Channel 15, with all
Yeah.
this going on tonight there, Coach?
Well, we're talking about Sean McDermott, talking about Drew Petzing, talking about Jonathan Gannon, talking about the game tonight, talking about, what else has happened today? I think the Suns are playing tonight, too.
They are, yeah. They play in Brooklyn. Yeah.
The lowly 12-win Nets, so that should be a win there. My Montana Grizzlies are playing up in Flagstaff tonight against NAU.
There you go.
That's kind of exciting. Yeah, so, there's never a shortage of things to talk about in sports.
You're the best, pal. Thank you as
Thank you,
always
Coach.
for your time, man. There you go.
You got it.
There you
Later.
go. That's Factor Fouhy, everybody. Craig Fouhy, ABC 15. Coming up next, it will be our G2G protein bar game changes this weekend. By the way, we are here at TPC in Scottsdale, and we'll be here until 4 o'clock. This has got to be the best spot to watch the championship game tonight. The televisions are monstrous. The food, the drinks are all available. And, of course, you can get your wagering right in here at TPC DraftKings. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620 on the FM side at 98.7 HD-2. Also, the Arizona Sports App.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite
I know it
draft
gets like
board at
2.5
a frosty
minutes.
29 degrees.
Oh, I
and
know he
rare
does.
barrel-aged whiskeys are served
Terrible.
just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy D as they broadcast live before the national championship from DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale on Monday, January 19th. Watch college football's biggest game in an electric atmosphere with massive wall-to-wall screens, great food and
Mike
drinks.
McCarthy, second interview with Tennessee.
The energy from VIP cabanas to the outdoor patio and fire pits. The road to a national title runs through Scottsdale. Monday, January 19th at DraftKings with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from ESPN Radio 620. Must be 21 years or older to wager. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Amy Coates did something
So that worked.
happens on auto insurance, switching to Progressive. And with that money, she decided to treat herself to an anti-aging red light mask. Will she look like a horror movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend
See the
Kevin
press or is it
be
in seats?
right? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's.
Yeah, he
seat.
said he was
And
in
if he's trying
seats.
to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin. Well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see
Yeah.
with Progressive and treat yourself.
He'll be with the high rollers with the Fiesta Bowl.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician,
Why wouldn't Last pick Gene
digital
Bradley?
multimeter are in
Was
high
that what-
demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Time for the G2G Protein Bar Play or Team of the Weekend. Did your favorite player make an incredible play or your team had a big upset? They probably know all about G2G Protein Bars, a refrigerated protein bar with unmatched taste, grab and go goodness. G2G Protein Bars are now available at Costco.
everybody. Welcome back. Yeah, look, we are going to do our G2G protein bar selection, but we want to remind you we are at BPC in Scottsdale here at DraftKings. Here's the best part, is that not only are we here tonight for the championship of games in college football, but when the WS meeting open begins, we will be here from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But if we've done this several years, great time. Somebody has to do it. Might as well be us. It is absolute blast out here. People coming and going. People we haven't seen like in, 20 years. Come through DraftKings, coming out to Waste Management Phoenix Open. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Remember back in the day, you have sparse crowds? Not anymore, folks. Nope. So I would align your transportation up now because you get the Pro-Am going on Wednesday. You got some events going on Monday and Tuesday. And out here at DraftKings, they will have a going on, as they always do. All right, let's do our G2G protein bars right now. Manuch, we'll start with you. Let's get back to Seattle, where this young man had quite the day.
Walker looking for the trifecta. He's got it. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Thank you to Fox. And Kenneth Walker the third, by the way. 3 rushing touchdowns is my G2G protein bar game changer in the 41-6 divisional win over the 49ers. As I mentioned, 3 touchdowns, 116 yards average, 6.1 yards per run. Kenneth Walker III is my G2G protein bar game changer of the week. Well, this got overlooked for my G2G protein bar game changer because all the football games were on. So even though there was a NBA game on last night, most people were dialed into that football game for obvious reasons. The Lakers snap a losing streak. They beat Toronto 110-93. But the key element of that game, not LeBron James, not Luka Doncic, it is the Suns' former #1 draft pick, center DeAndre Ayton. He goes 10 of 10 from the floor, 5 of 6 at the line. Manuch scores 25 points, has 13 rebounds, has a couple of block shots in there, was a plus-minus plus 20 on the game. DeAndre Ayton, yes, my G2G protein bar game changer.
They flipped the script there. Doncic, turnaround. DeAndre right there to score. And he keeps his streak alive. Yes, he does.
10 for 10.
Double digits. Perfect.
That's just what I was talking about. The dude had himself a game, an absolute monster game last night. As once again, he gets my G2G game changer. Connor, what do you got?
Yeah, guys, I'm going back to the NFL as a MVP candidate. Drake May tosses 3 touchdowns for 179 yards. It started off a little rough against that Texans defense, but he found his groove. And, guys, I'll tell you what, this man has been putting it together all year, but this play to Kayshon Boutte was one of the plays of the year.
Anderson coming off the edge. May steps into it, takes a shot downfield, and caught for the touchdown, Kayshon Boutte.
Just a beautiful ball down the right sideline. And Manuch, I know you can always appreciate a receiver's efforts when he puts that one paw up and goes up and grabs it.
And with coverage all over. Yeah, on top of to bring that in and control it, stay in bounds, phenomenal catch. And you look at, Surtain Jr., coverage on that. And that was one of the big plays, one of the big plays of the weekend. Les.
I'm going down to those U of A Wildcats as on Saturday afternoon, Jaden Bradley had yet another big-time performance, putting up 23 points and bringing down 6 rebounds to help lead those Cats to a big road conference win at UCF and improve to 18-0 on the year.
Haven't been looking for the bigs as much as they did in the first half. That one blocked away, and it's a foot race the other way. Bradley gets the M1 with the foul.
There you go. That is Laz's selection right there. Of course, it had to be a U of A guy. Les, you want to have me get a nice high? Do you want to add anything more to that?
I was
Just
thinking
leave it
about
hanging
maybe
like
doing
that?
someone from the Bears-Rams game, but I was too
No.
sick. I couldn't do it.
No,
Too
no.
sick.
No, but you typically after a play like that, Radio 101, go comment about it, talk about it, anything particular. You'd fall asleep on that during the play.
I fell asleep during the game a little, I'll be honest.
You could have said that he made that catch in adverse weather conditions.
Yeah, no, what a football game last night. But we're sticking to our G2G, our U of A Wildcats, 18-0 on the year, and we are the unanimous #1 team in the league.
There you go, G2G.
3 minutes, 3 minutes.
They've been a game changer, and now they're available in Costco. Just check the refrigerated section at Costco. Once again, you can find them online at G2GBar.com. That is G2GBar.com. And don't forget, refrigerated section at Costco. But let's just do a little football at 50.
All right,
What do
there's
you got?
a couple things here. If you haven't heard it now, all you Buffalo Bills fans and Bills Mafia mourning right now. Sean McDermott fired as the head coach. I did surprise me. I hate to see it, but it did surprise me. Terry Pagula, the owner of this Buffalo Bills team, in control. By the way, general manager Brandon Dean will lead the coaching search moving forward. He's been promoted to the president of this Buffalo Bills team. Also, over the weekend, Kevin Stefanski, former Browns coach, is now the new head coach for Atlanta Falcons, as well as former quarterback Matt Ryan was named the new president of the Falcons. So there's a couple things right there. You look at a couple of things. So Robert Saleh is now the head coach of Knicks. He has emerged a serious finalist for the Tennessee Titans head coaching job. There'll be a lot more. Also coming in, looks like former Georgia players stood out. A lot of them stood out in this NFL playoff divisional round, highlighting the Bulldogs' NFL impact. You look at that Nate guy, Matthew Stafford, is one of the biggest Bulldogs as far as that's concerned. The 2026 NFL offseason dates. The league has officially, for all of you NFL nerds, big guys, they released the offseason milestones, including the NFL Combine, the start of the OTAs, the draft calendar, and as far as getting the teams who your team's going to play next year, those are all coming out as well, too. A little Super Bowl real quick. You look at the so an addition has been added as far as NFL, as far as Bad Bunny is concerned. The Rock band Green Day. All right. It says the Super Bowl considered ahead of Bad Bunny in the halftime show. Really interesting how that all happened. So the latest on that, Green Day also gets the performance from Bad Bunny at Super Bowl number 6. Can't wait. Coming up. One of my favorite parties of the week. We are headed to Miami. You ever notice how it's always Jimmy B in the news and Rock is always on location in the writer's room? He's on the side. Yes, he will be at the game tonight. We're going to check in with him when we This is Rock and Manuch with Jimmy B. He is 98.7 FM and on Arizona Sports.
The best in women's college basketball, the brightest stars in the game. And for the very first time, it's happening in the desert. The NCAA Women's Final Four is coming to Phoenix. 4 days of free family fun with tailgates, a concert, viewing parties, and more. April 2nd through 5th in downtown Phoenix. Free events, all ages, all weekend. NCAA.com/Women's Final Four.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly thanks to reliable nationwide 5G. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on Supreme Unlimited plan. For service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Hey, when America Roofing says we've got you covered, they're talking winter rain, summer heat, monsoon storms, repair or replace. Do what we did at Casa Galvisi and go with Arizona's 2025 Roofing Contractor of the Year. Yep, Jake, Josh, Tracy, and 500 employees statewide earning Arizona's Roofing Contractor of the Year award. And they're A-plus rated with a Better Business Bureau. So, home or business, go with Arizona's biggest and best, America Roofing, and save 12% at americaroofingco.com.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per-person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with a perfect plan to ensure everyone's well-fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savebythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. Back at DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale, the Valley's premier place to watch the games, enjoy great food and drinks, and take in the atmosphere right off the famous 16th hole. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B continue on ESPN 620 Phoenix.
Well, he likes to think of himself as Sonny Clocken from the days of Miami Vice from Clocken Cubs. We are here at DraftKings, everybody. TPC. We'll have a packed house tonight. Fans are already here. They're already getting in on the vibe. And it is the one, the only, Mike Muraco, a.k.a. Roc, and the guy who's the boss of this show, which is why he's there. And Manuch and I are stuck here. He is going to be our guest right now. Hey, Roc, it's great to have you on the show, always. Thanks for joining us. Give us just kind of give us the vibe right now, pal. What do you got?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it's either Pitbull or somebody just started playing on the stage here. I'm actually in the stadium, but I'm out in the concourse area, and I think it's Pitbull. Or yeah, it is Pitbull. Okay. So he just got started literally, and he's got some looks like Miami Hurricane dancers up there with him, and then so that's the Pitbull's here right now playing, and it all started. But I'll tell you, when it comes to I've never been to the old former Joe Robbie Stadium. What a cool venue! It's kind of a tough venue to get in and out of. I think it's kind of like Dodger Stadium. We got one way in, one way out. We were fortunate to have not a full escort, but we had a Sprinter van and somewhat of an escort, I should say. But anyway, it's just it's an interesting place because it's got this, Jimmy. It's the Miami tennis tournament's here, and F1 is here. It's a huge stadium. I mean, the area is just gigantic, but it's the middle of nowhere. So traffic, people complain about Glendale. This is nothing. I mean, Glendale's nothing compared to Miami and traffic getting to the stadium. But weather's good. It's clearly a Indiana home game right now.
Wow.
Maybe that's because they have nowhere to go. We're 2.5 hours for kickoff. So maybe the Miami people are, they understand they'll just show up when they show up. But clearly, it's probably 80% Indiana right now. So an average ticket price is about $4,200. So people's jamming right now. I don't know if you can hear in the background, but it's like, it's pretty cool. Like I said, I've never been here before, and pretty blessed to be here, I guess, because this is cool, and I think the game's going to be a lot closer than people are saying. But I don't know. Everybody is on Indiana, just out on South Beach last couple nights, and they're out there in rare all the Indiana fans. So if you're listening to all the pundits out here, it's Indiana, believe it or not. It's a home game for the Dolphins. And the Dolphins not Dolphins. The Hurricanes are actually using the Dolphins locker room. They're not using their home locker room because they're the visiting team. So that's kind of odd.
Oh, yeah.
Being the visiting team is kind of cool.
So, Roc, what are some of the duties you have to accommodate when you're out there with all the Fiesta Bowl guys?
Really just get my credit card out and buy a beer. I even got away with not carrying Eric Moses' suitcase. Like,
wow.
He's in a different hotel. He's in the big hotel. I'm in the Holiday Inn. So no, really no duties at all, guys. It's just we have about 15 people here, and everybody's doing their thing, and it's been great, a lot of fun, and I really like South Beach. I'd never been there before. I went to a concert last night on the beach. I don't know. I didn't know one song. It was a Latino band, and I can't even count and in Spanish. So, Manuch, you would have liked them. It was fun, and then hit the streets and. But traffic is oh my gosh, it is so bad. I don't even know what city I can compare this to.
I can tell you that every time that I went there to do a Dolphins game, we always left about 3 hours early, just because of what you just talked about. Traffic is brutal, and there is only one way in and one way out.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. We originally were going to leave at like 4 o'clock Eastern. Instead, we left at 2 o'clock Eastern because the traffic. It took a good hour and a half to get here. It's a 2-hour time difference for you. But, yeah, you're right. It's you would think they would be able to figure that out. But, again, they don't have that many events here. You have F1, you have Dolphins, Hurricanes, and what else would they do out here? But it's cool. I mean, it's a really neat place and a lot of buses. All these big wigs are out here and entertaining and all that fun stuff. So, but clearly, right now we'll see. I just posted. I sent Laz where my seats are, where I'm sitting from, and there's a lot of people in the stadium already. I didn't want to go out and handle the pitbull crowd, so I want to get inside our little suite level and have a beer in here and something to eat. But yeah, it's crazy. I've been a few of these, and it's just a little bit different because there's nowhere to go before. Like college campus is where I think, what's great about it, we're fortunate at State Farm Stadium to have Westgate there. To have all those restaurants and bars. There's nothing here. You come in. What's so interesting is with the president being here, I've never seen so much security.
Yeah.
You literally had to get in with your ticket, and they wand you there. Then you had to go in another area, and then they wand you again with Secret Service.
Wow.
So you had the Hard Rock folk, and then you had Secret Service here wanting you, and then they checked your ticket like 3 times, and it beats on me, man. I was like, whoa, I think it's my ankle. I got my ankle. It beep, and they go, hold on, and take my jacket off.
Wow.
But no, it's Secret Service everywhere, dogs everywhere. I mean, we've all been at events where a lot of police, but I've never seen this many.
Wow.
And we've had multiple presidents come to events in Phoenix, but he's coming with a bunch of other brass, I believe too. So I don't know if he's going to be on the field or anything like that, but I think it's cool. It doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on. When the president of the United States
it shows up.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah. Hey, with all the is it a lot more pomp and circumstance and pageantry, Roc, the way you explain it? Or, I mean, did you expect more, or was it less when you compare it to other Fiesta Bowls and even Super Bowls you've been to?
At least Fiesta Bowl, I think we do a great job of putting on the pregame parties and stuff, and there's multiple parties. Here, you really have to have a VIP ticket to get into most of this stuff. But there's tailgating. What's interesting, you have to have a ticket to actually even be able to park. In other words, you can't just come and tailgate. Right. You actually have to have a ticket to the game, and that's not normal. But I have a feeling they did that for a reason because they just don't have that much parking here. So and that being a home game kind of from Miami, they're used to just driving here. So, but pageantry, it's interesting. What's weird is Heineken is a big sponsor of the Miami Dolphins, and I'm looking at the huge sign where the big Hard Rock sign is, and they had the Heineken sign covered. So, they're not a sponsor of the CFP. So I've never seen that before, where they're actually covering stuff up. And I think that's pretty interesting. But that's our world of sponsorships, as you guys know. But it's cool. What do you guys want me to bring you back? I mean, I didn't pick up the towel when I walked in. Like, you get a choice with Miami towel or Indiana towel. I didn't pick up either one of them. I'm not wearing any colors. I'm wearing, Fiestable black.
Okay.
I'm not wearing anything that would say I'm a fan of either team. But
you can bring me a hat.
You're asking for a prediction.
Yeah, you can bring me a hat, man.
Nah, it's kind of like the Masters, man. Why should I bring you back something? You gotta go. You gotta go to the event. Right, dude?
Absolutely.
You know my rules.
Yeah,
You know my
exactly.
rules, Master.
Hey, can you get Fernando Mendoza sweatbands for me?
Yeah.
Bring it.
Do you guys realize in the playoffs he's got he's got as many touchdowns as he has incomplete.
Yes.
Is that a great stat?
That's phenomenal.
I mean, if they can slow him down, if they can get to him, that's the only chance, and not force any stupid mistakes. Miami maybe could keep this thing close, but everybody's on Indiana. I just can't. I mean, I guess they've flown everybody out, to get here, right? So, are you guys both on Indiana?
Yeah, we are.
I think we're on last on Indiana. The story of Mario Cristobal coming back, Michael Irvin, all the alumni. Is that still a big story that the prodigal son has come back to Miami and brought him back to the national championship?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's been a little bit of that. I'll be honest with you. I haven't listened to the local sports talk here or, reading the newspaper. It's South Beach, but
don't they deliver it to your door at the hotel?
Manuch, he hasn't been at the hotel.
I did have Uber Eats today.
All right.
Uber Eats the food, yeah. But no, I think the thing I talked to some Miami fans. I have talked to a couple, and they seem pretty confident. They really do. But they squeaked in to be here, right? I mean, they squeaked in, but you got to give them credit to the teams that they did this year. I just hope, guys, no matter who wins, I don't have a horse in the race, but I just want to be a close game. I don't want to be a blowout like the Seahawks game the other day. You almost want to turn it off. Sorry, Manuch.
Yeah, that's right.
It's an interesting stadium, and they have a gondola ride. That's going around the stadium. That's pretty cool. But man, there's so many Indiana fans. I mean, there's so many. I'm anxious to see what it's going to look like, once everybody gets in the stadium. Right now, everybody's walking around.
Hey, real quick, do they have kiosks at the stadium, Rock, any chance, as far as for gambling is concerned?
Well, Hard Rock is a casino, but I have not. I don't believe they have it. I just tried to get in on my DraftKings. I'm glad I did my bets on DraftKings before I got to Florida. But I haven't seen any. I haven't been walking around that much yet. But
can't do it for college football. College stadium. Yeah, you can't do it for a college football game in the stadium. You have to use your phone.
Yeah, I don't see. There's no kiosks, but I don't know what they do for NFL. If they do something, I'm sure they have some deal with the. I think it's the Florida, the Seminole Indian Nation that they're involved in. That's who Hard Rock is, I believe, out here. But
you're allowed to use the entire state of Florida because they own all that land.
All of it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right. Good. Good job, lads. Way to go.
Dynamite drop in, money.
What do you got, Connor?
Well, I figured while we have Roc on the phone and he's in Miami, we might as well go ahead and see if he can get any inside information on this. It looks like the Dolphins have just hired their new head coach, as they're going to be hiring Jeff Hafley, the former defensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers.
Wow. Good stuff. Yeah, anything new on the Cardinals front? I mean, I know Atlanta's got their guy, and, of course, the New York Giants, but I haven't heard or seen anything new today?
Since Sean McDermott got fired at Buffalo, they're still in the under 8 position as far as people coming through. They're bringing more people out, and Robert Saleh is now a leading candidate for Tennessee, who seemed to be the leading candidate for the Cardinals, at least from some of the pundits.
Well, my understanding is I was talking to somebody in the know, and he didn't want the Cardinal job because of the quarterback situation.
Sure.
Yep.
I think that's probably pretty much the case for most of the people that are.
No, you're right.
Because wherever he goes, he's got to have success for a second head coaching job,
Yes,
right?
yes.
If not,
All right.
Tennessee, yeah. So anyway,
You have a great time.
Go get a beer, you
Yeah,
know?
man, go do that. Go hang out with your new bestie, Pitbull, and and we'll see you when you get back.
Be careful down on South Beach,
yeah, man.
Yeah. Last night, yeah. All right, we're happy. See you, boys.
All right, there you go. That's Roc, live and direct, not only from South Beach, but hanging out at the stadium with his new best friend, Pitbull.
See, I've been doing this show with him. It'll be 22 years in September.
Man.
I've been living vicariously through Roc's travels.
I get you.
All these games, these Super Bowls, going to Italy, going here, going there. And you got to get the update on these assignments, Jimmy B. We call these assignments. But every time I flip a coin with Roc, he always wins. You should probably check that, see if it's a double-headed sign signal on that. It's got to be one way or the other.
Hey, I'm just fill-in boy. I just show up when you tell me. That's it. That's all I do. All right, everybody. Look, we are at TPC for the big game tonight here in Scottsdale. DraftKings is where we are located. We're here until 4 o'clock this afternoon. Fans are already coming in. The restaurant part already is like 3/4 full. It's nice weather. The patio is open. You want to watch the championship game tonight? This is the spot. It is DraftKings here at TPC. All right, when we come back, we're going to give you some of the sound clips from the AFC and NFC divisional championships over the weekend. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620, 98.7 FM, HD-2, and on the Arizona Sports app.
Wow.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per-person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with the perfect plan to ensure everyone's well-fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
Join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B as they broadcast live before the national championship from DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale on Monday, January 19th. Watch college football's biggest game in an electric atmosphere with massive wall-to-wall screens, great food and drinks, and a full sportsbook experience. Get there early, grab a seat, and soak in the energy. From VIP cabanas to the outdoor patio and fire pits, the road to a national title runs through Scottsdale. Monday, January 19th at DraftKings with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from ESPN Radio 620. Must be 21 years or older to wager. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Hey, it's Kevin Rowe from Lerner & Rowe, trusted across Arizona for helping injured people after serious car wrecks. And I'm Sean Forrester, managing attorney at Lerner & Rowe Law Group. We may sound alike, but Lerner & Rowe Law Group is a completely separate firm focused solely on criminal defense. We handle serious felonies, DUIs, and misdemeanors with decades of courtroom experience. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call Lerner & Rowe Law Group now at 602-977-1900.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
At Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, we love the game of golf, just like you. We're here for golfers because we know golf like no one else. Since 1963, your local Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf has been the trusted partner on and off the course, providing reliable expertise you can count on. With over 60 years of experience and our legendary 90-day guarantee, we've always been here to help you get there. Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get there.
Hey y'all, I'm Kelly Clarkson. Every American dreams of creating a better life for his or her family
But in some communities, those dreams face difficult challenges. When we come together to help those in need get the same opportunities as everyone else, we truly are making our country a better place to live for all of us. So look for volunteer opportunities in your community to help others achieve the American dream, all right? This message is courtesy of the United States Air Force.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B are back, coming to you from DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale, where you can watch every game, feel every play, and be right in the middle of the action.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We're hanging out here today until 4 o'clock. Here's the thing here at DraftKings, okay? How'd you like to win a DraftKings gift card? I've got the lowdown, and you can do it right now. Just call 602-230-0620. That's 602-230-0620. Talk to Connor. He'll take your call. And all you have to do is tell him, A, who wins the game tonight, and B, what is the score. That's it. And you've got a chance to win the DraftKings gift card. Closest guess wins the gift card here at DraftKings. Once again, 602-230-0620. Good luck. Predict the winner and the score. And if you're the closest one, you get the DraftKings gift card. All right, let's get to some sound that took place following the yesterday of all of the NFL games. Let's go to Buffalo and Denver's win over Buffalo. We will start right now with Josh Allen at the podium on the loss.
It's extremely difficult. I feel like I let my teammates down tonight. Just missed opportunities throughout the game. It's been a long season. I hate how it ended, and it's going to stick with me for a long time.
Yeah, very emotional. I think a lot of folks really felt that Josh Allen needed to step up in Denver, and he missed free throws for sure. And that one throw to Kincaid in overtime, wide open, just tied in, just missed him there. But they're very emotional. I think that he understands ramifications. And when you hear somebody that emotional as a quarterback, you got to realize that you got to make good on your opportunities when you have that chance. Yep. And very unfortunate with Sean McDermott, the head coach, getting fired today. Not that you're in a rebuilding process with the Bills. You're not. You got your quarterback. You got a lot of good players. But, man, you got to take advantage of it. It's so hard to win, so hard to go to playoffs, it's so hard to get to the Super Bowl. Their opportunities have waned this last year with them losing out.
All right, let's move then to the Seattle trouncing of the 49ers. It was 41-6. Connor, we will skip down to head coach Mike McDonald talking about the game and how they probably played their best game.
And in terms of our team, I mean, it's probably the most complimentary game we've played up to this point. Obviously, starting the game out with a kickoff return for a touchdown, which is again excited to see some block on that play, but a great return by Rashid, and then just kept stacking plays to take away his own defense, kept playing. Quarterback's a hard guy to contain, and he makes plays, and so you can't get frustrated. You got to keep playing. And then offensively, being able to control the ball never being in jeopardy, being able to run it, scoring, and always trying to just keep stacking this thing. Heck of a win, man.
It's interesting because that 95-yard kickoff return, I watched that, and the stadium erupted. The vibe was already jacked up.
Yeah.
I mean, but after that, Lori, my lovely bride, looked at me and went, you know what, I think this is over. I said, well, just the one kickoff. She goes, no, I can tell just this vibe, the look. And then they shut down the Niners offense without Kittle, you name it. They just had that energy and that vibe. Then they come down, and with Walker and Charbonnet come going down back and forth, and Charbonnet gets hurt.
Yep.
Walker goes off. This game was over, unfortunately, at halftime. And I feel bad for the 49er fans and 49ers. It just caught up to him, Jimmy. All the injuries on offense, lack of all your stars, and even looked as though Christian McCaffrey looked a little slowed or hobbled. They were beat up. They were banged up. They're down to their, third, fourth-string receivers. A couple of drop passes here. You get a fumble there. another strip fumble here and there. That game was over before it started, but unfortunately, I agree with him. That's the best all around I've seen Seattle the entire year.
I'm with you 100% on that. All right, to the New England-Houston game. Pats win it 28-16. Connor, let's go down to the head coach, Mike Vrabel. What a coaching job he has done. He should be coach of the year in the AFC. There's no question about that. Here he is after the game.
Well, I'm always excited for our organization, excited for the players. I am appreciative of their work and their efforts. Everybody's stepping up. We're using everybody. Everybody's making plays. Everybody's helping us win. I'm excited for these guys, but they're also they're not satisfied.
Sound familiar when a guy named Bill Belichick was there?
Same vibe, same deal.
You think about this, Jimmy B. How many guys, no names, stepped up during that Super Bowl era? Now that they have a chance to go back again, that were no names that just did their job. Still alive for Bill Belichick. Just do your job. And they enhance that, they embrace that, but they really came through when they had to. They made the plays when they had to. Hey, it was a sloppy game. 4 turnovers on both sides of the ball. 8 turnovers in a divisional round. I mean, that's rare. They went back, I think, to the 1970s to see that many turnovers. But I think what Mike Vrabel has done, he's instilled in confidence. He's instilled all the free agents that they got. He's instilled the draft choices. And number one, he's got Drake May, second-year quarterback, making all the throws and giving him the protection he needs to get the ball down the field.
All right, to the Rams' victory over Chicago last night, 20-17. Let's begin with Caleb Williams following the game, talking about his second season in the NFL.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a really fun year. One of my more fun years of being able to play football, between the growth, the hard times, the good times, and just being able to be in the locker room with the guys that we had and the guys that are going to be here. And so I'm excited. I'm proud of our guys. I appreciate the city of Chicago. I appreciate Chicago Bears, the organization, and I truly appreciate the coaches and their sacrifice, and obviously my teammates.
Manuch, I'm telling you right now, that sounds like a professional football player to me. So that was solid by Caleb Williams. Okay, so there you go. Some of the sound following this weekend's NFL playoff action. Okay, when we come back, the NFC West is the most dominant conference in the National Football League. Well, our guy, Eric Williams, NFC writer for Fox Sports, is going to be our guest. He's coming up right after we have this ESPN 620 Sports Center update.
Detroit Lions fired Cardinals offensive coordinator Drew Petzing and their new OC after 3 seasons in Arizona, creating yet another coaching vacancy for the Cardinals this offseason. And tonight is the College Football National Championship as the Miami Hurricanes take on the Indiana Hoosiers from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Kickoff is set for 5:30, and you can catch all the action right here on ESPN 620 AM today. The biggest thing is that the biggest screen. Don't just watch the national championship. Live it at the DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale. We're talking over 3,400 square feet of video walls, the best game day food in the valley, and non-stop action. The WM Phoenix Open is next, so the energy is already electric. Book your table now at 480-866-8476 or visit their official website to reserve your spot. Eric Williams, next.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G protein bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G protein bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customers.
I got some players to work with.
Enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and monthly fee. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your
I'll tell you one thing. He wasn't
moving forward.
His field awareness, play calling awareness.
And now
I just cannot agree with.
On your
And when Gannon started,
Sun Devils mini plan, you choose any 6 home games you want, including the
because of the
biggest
postal offense they ran with
matchup of the year, Kansas and Arizona.
That's the guy with them.
The rivalries, circle the heavy hitters, or stack your
Now we have weapons. Campbell goes, that don't work with us.
6 games,
I've got
your
Duke.
choice, your vibes.
Yeah,
Was Eric in today at SunDevilTickets.com. That's SunDevilTickets.com.
Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Whatever you're craving, we got it. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon pours, and top shelf spirits served over ice balls that hit just right. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails. Yep, all here. And with 5 Valley locations. And don't forget the teeth-chattering 29-degree drafts we're famous for. Pair it all with scratch kitchen bites that actually satisfy. From shareables to hearty favorites. When it comes to happy hour, Twin Peaks doesn't play. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B are back, coming to you from DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale, where you can watch every game, feel every play, and be right in the middle of the action.
Game. Vegas of 42 online, and it's good. And the Los Angeles Rams go to the championship game with an overtime win in Chicago.
Thank you to NBC for that highlight. God, I hate this guy who's coming on right now. He gets all the good gigs. Jeez. But he's nice enough to still come on our show. So we always appreciate it when Eric Williams, NFC West beat writer, FoxSports.com, is on with us. By the way, you can find him on X at EDubNFL22. I did it right, Manuch. I know.
You've been rehearsing all day.
I have been.
Thank God you give Eric Williams the proper introduction.
I did. Eric, how are you, pal?
I'm doing well. It's appreciated. I don't have to change the X handle. I can leave it the way it is. And it's good to be talking to you guys.
So, Eric, you're up there in Seattle watching the game. So did you stop by Pike's Marketplace, try to catch some fish or any of that kind of touristy stuff?
No, I mean, that's where I'm from. I'm actually from Tacoma. So I went back home to see some family and friends and talked to a couple of my buddies that were going to the game. And they certainly were well prepared to hit that game at 5 p.m. They were tailgating pretty early. So they were in a good mood to enjoy that game. And just in terms of the atmosphere of that game, I was at Beast Quake, I was at Hail Mary, and it certainly rivaled loudness of those two games. I mean, it was electric in there.
So how was the opening kickoff? This hurts my heart. 95 yards. And then you have the kicker try to trip him up, and you see the flag. What can you compare that explosive decimals in that stadium to, if you can? Maybe when, Beast Mode went with his, his earthquake run?
Yeah, I think that's an apt comparison. I mean, it was that loud. and on that play, you felt the stadium move. I mean, that's how much energy there was going on, and yet people were jacked to get off and to have that play happen. Same kind of reaction. I mean, you could feel the press box move when that occurred. So yeah, there was, from that point on, I mean, pretty much the game was over at that point.
Yeah, it's interesting. My wife said that. We're sitting there on the couch, and she's like, honey, this is over. I went, honey, wait a second. We got Brock Purdy. We don't have him. But you got
McCaffrey.
We don't have him. But on and on. I mean, I kind of got the feeling, I'm not going to say that they didn't quit. They played hard, but the dam pretty much broke at that point. Did you agree or not with that?
Well, I mean, it's the Kyle Shanahan team, so I don't think you can ever count them out because of the coaching acumen. 17-0. I thought, okay, maybe if they can get a score here in the second half, then to have the opposite score again and get up 24-6. At that point, with the way that their defense was playing, and like you said, they're so shorthanded, you kind of felt like the game was over once they went up 24-6, I believe.
Eric Limbs is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Okay, take me to the Rams and the Bears. We've been on this show all season long. I think that you and I think Manuch also felt that the Rams were the best team, or at least felt they were the best team in the NFC West. How did you assess the performance by Matthew Stafford in that game?
Baller. I mean, to go out there and play like that in those kind of conditions, I think it was somewhat, expected that he'd go out there and play well enough for his team to get a win. Some big boy throws that he had to make down the stretch in order to make that happen. But I think for me, going into it, I kind of felt like the Rams' defensive front seven was going to be the key to this game. If the Rams were able to get a lead, I felt like the Rams' ability to close the game out because of their front four and the way that they rush would be able to create some pressure and to give the secondary some opportunities to make a game-changing play, and that's kind of what it came down to with Cam Curl getting that interception. Obviously, it took overtime. They had the miraculous fourth down throw by Caleb Williams to find Komet there in the back of the end zone. Kudos to him. He's played amazing all season in those gotta-have-it moments, but I just felt like the Rams had a little bit more defensively to come out on top, and that's what occurred.
I agree with that. Caleb Williams throws that's just inhuman what he did. But I will say this, even though Stafford didn't have a great night, that throw to Devontae Adams, Eric, you guys talk about a phenomenal throw at the right time, a big-time performance. Had to be, I'd say, the second throw of the game that really stood out, not only for the game, but for the Rams.
You're talking about on that out route?
That out route, yep. Kept his feet in bounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard to do in ideal conditions, let alone when it's 10 degrees outside. Not only to put the ball to where he needed to put it, but then Devontae to come up with that catch. Impressive by both those guys, although, they've played in those conditions before, so I think, their experience has something to do with it as well.
So, Eric, when you watch Sean McVay call plays, why does he get away from the obvious? Why not keep running the ball and trying to be cute? Is that you've covered this team for a long time. You've watched them. I just see sometimes, let's not get cute. Let's just go win the damn game.
I think he forgets that he has some of the best running backs in the league
for
this season. And he tends to lean towards the pass side instead of the run side of his call sheet. And that's been like that ever since I've covered that team, which has been 6 or 7 years now, where he has some of the best running backs in the league, and for whatever reason, he wants to throw it. To Sean's credit, he'll fall and score. He takes full accountability for making those kind of calls, and I think that's why he continues to be a popular person, amongst his coaching staff in the league and within his locker room, because he always takes responsibility and accountability for making those mistakes in game situations. We just got off a Zoom call with him, and he was again, talking about how he made a mistake in a couple of those calls, getting away from the running game, a 3rd and 1 call that he would have liked to have back. It is a trend with him, though, that he will lean towards the pass more towards the run, particularly when his team's running the football effectively.
So he can sense the frustration Manuch has from, 2,000 miles away. But it's interesting you say that, Eric, that he acknowledges you know what? He said smoke and mirrors, I think was one of his comments. And I think he kind of realized, look, you're playing in what, sub-zero temperature. Let's just keep it blocking, tackling, and first down. I assume that Rudy tried to get at in the post-game presser.
I think so. And then I think it's also a reminder as he goes into the next week to not do the same thing. If he's able to run the football effectively on the road against Seattle, who I think has the best defense going right now in terms of how they're playing, then go ahead and lean into it and take the pressure off your quarterback, particularly in what's going to be a hostile environment up there in the Pacific Northwest. It's the third time that these two teams are going to meet. Both the games have been really good games during the regular season. I expect the third one to be more the same.
All right, answer me this. With the firing today of McDermott in Buffalo, the top job in the National Football League right now available is now the Buffalo Bills. In your estimation, if you are a person who has been interviewed by the Arizona Cardinals, do you send them a text saying, hold off on that, I got another trip to take? Are they going to lose prospective people because of that?
Hey, hold on, Michael. I got a call on line 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Just sit tight.
Yeah.
I think potentially. I mean, if you're a prospective head coach and you have a choice of having, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, or, person to be determined when it comes to the Cardinal, I think you're going to choose the more certain commodity, which is, guys that have won MVPs. If that's a choice that you have. I think, money's always going to play a role in it as well. And then I also think ownership and how much time they're going to give you to go in there and be successful is part of that equation. So Arizona's in a tough situation in terms of competing, with some of those potential head coaching candidates because they have to move quickly, but they don't want to move too quick because they want to do a thorough coaching search and make sure they look at all the right people. For me, if Robert Saleh is available, that's my guy. Like, that's who I'm bringing in. A guy that's the head coach before, is familiar with the division. Addition by subtraction, because you're taking him away from an opponent within your division. And I think he's going to bring somebody that can lead the offense that will improve the offense in terms of what they're running schematically and maybe bring a little bit more innovation. So if Saleh is available, that would be the first.
You were up there enjoying that fine seafood hanging out at Pike's Market when the latest Saleh report came out. Rumor had it when he asked the Cardinals what's your quarterback situation, wasn't real positive. He is now being reported, whoever reports this stuff, as the lead dog for Tennessee right now because of one Cam Ward. So that I don't think that surprises any of us.
Yeah, not surprising that, but again, there's certainty at the quarterback position, which I think if you're a head coach, it's something that is a positive going into that situation. If he's not available, maybe you turn and pivot to somebody like Kubiak, with the Seahawks, who again would give you that offensive innovation and perspective that you're looking for, and you take them away from a division rival.
So I know you have to force yourself to head back to Seattle this weekend, unless you just stay at the hotel there, just kind of hang out.
Yeah,
what are you looking for? What in your mind, Eric, watching both these teams all year, will determine who wins this NFC championship?
I think it's going to come down to quarterback play, in my opinion. I think both teams will be able to score. I think the quarterback that plays the most efficient and the cleanest game, that team's going to come out victorious. So I think there is going to be some onus on Darnold to make some big boy plays in this game. He didn't have to do a lot. Last week, obviously, he had the oblique injury, which seemed like it was more bluster than an actual thing that was going to impede him from go out there and playing well. But I think defensively, with what the Rams are going to bring, I think Darnold's going to have to make some plays through the passing. Obviously, having Charbonnet is going to hurt them.
Yes.
If they want to, in the running game. Walker had a great game, but can he go out there and repeat that?
Before we let you run, you got a pick tonight in the college playoff, either Miami or Indiana?
I'll take the Hoosiers.
Okay.
I think they make the least amount of mistakes out of those two teams. I like the idea that Miami is good again. I think that makes college football interesting. The fact that they're playing in, Florida, South Florida, I think helps them. But I like Mendoza. I like Indiana's approach, and I think they're going to get it done.
Always great, pal, when you take time to come on the show. Thank you, as always, Eric. We hate you again now because you're going back to the game. So you're the best.
For having me. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
You got it, man. There you go. That's Eric Williams, everybody. FoxSports.com, the NFC writer for everything that goes on in the NFC West. He's presented today by All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company. They're hiring drivers, dispatchers, customer service personnel, and if you're looking for a new gig, check out All City Towing. Here's all you have to do. Just go online, allcitytowing.com, and search careers. Again, that's allcitytowing.com, search careers. It's All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward. All right, a quick timeout. When we come back, it's our Lerner and Rowe one call. We will also update you on our question of the day, which Manuch worked overtime to make sure that he had a solid question
Our
of the day.
State 48 Roofing, it's your call question of the day.
That was too long for me to say. And I'll give you what's on tap. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here at DraftKings today. About another 15 minutes or so on the show. ESPN 620.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club. A one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at OrangeDaleLounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
When tragedy strikes, the impact is immediate and devastating. That's when the 100 Club of Arizona steps in, providing financial assistance, guidance, and emotional support.
Belichick's on the
Public safety
Diaz with the boys.
are killed in the line of duty.
North Carolina colors on.
Mental health resources, injury prevention, and scholarships for the children of first responders. Every day, Arizona's public safety professionals put their lives on the line. The 100 Club of Arizona has their
You got to think marketing
is never irrelevant. Never
marketing.
You applied to Grand Canyon University because you want somewhere fun and affordable, where hands-on classes and access to industry pros can help you build skills employers need, with the opportunity to graduate in less than 4 years. You want to feel seen, loved, called to more, to know you found your purpose. Make yourself the major.
Come on, man, get your marketing hat on.
Find your purpose at GCU. Visit gcu.edu.
Join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B as they broadcast live before the national championship from DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale on Monday, January 19th. Watch college football,
college right there together.
Yeah, man. Drinks and a full sports early, grab a seat and soak in the energy. From VIP cabanas to the outdoor patio and fire pits. To a national title runs through Scottsdale. Monday, January 19th at DraftKings with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
For over a century now, Ford has been part of America. In my family, it's been generations. Paul Calvisier, my grandfather worked for Ford Motor. My first car, a classic Mustang, still have it. But going to our Desert Ford dealers today means getting more than a vehicle.
I'm telling you, when Roc said it's
Ford mobile service, we'll try Ford pickup and delivery. It's to and from your door, and it's easy scheduling in the Ford Pass app. Would be
they'll block it all up. Nobody
more than a slogan, it's an identity of the F-Series trucks. And the all-new 2026 F-150 is the best yet, with a completely redesigned interior and exterior adventure. How about the Ford Bronco Sport? It says, let's get it, with 5 available trims so you can forge your own path. We recently bought a new flexible seating up to 7, all the cargo room, the advanced tech. Bottom line, Ford is the future at our Desert Ford dealers. Just click FordNow.com.
Hey, seriously, Green, are you kidding?
They will boo the crap out of him. Oh yeah.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe voted Arizona's best law firm.
I don't ever delve in terms like that. I stay away from creating narratives, storylines. It's never been part of the process. I believe that there's substance to what we do, and it's completely rooted in reality and hard work, and we like to stay that route.
That is the head coach of the Miami Hurricanes, Mario Cristobal, on possibly the Canes being a Cinderella team. I know that sounds stupid because they were 11-2, but here's the deal with the Canes is that they were the last team to get into the playoffs. Remember everybody complaining, Notre Dame, you got to no. They put Miami in over Notre Dame because Notre Dame lost to Miami. That is our Lerner and Rowe. One call, that's all. Interact, need a check. Just make one call. 602-977-1900. Always at lernerandrowe.com, and you get a free consultation. Once again, Lerner and Rowe. One call, that's all. 602-977-1900. What's on tap tonight? Well, of course, it is indeed the College Football Championship playoff game. It's on ABC, ESPN. That's where you can find it. It'll kickoff, I should say, at roughly about 5:30. Also at 5:30, Arizona Sports 98.7 on TV. AZ Family, that's 3 TV. It is the Phoenix Suns at the Brooklyn Nets. Suns coming off a win over the Knicks. The Nets coming off a loss against Chicago. That is what is going to take place tonight. All right, let's get you then to our State 48 Roofing. It's your call question of the day.
Just call State 48 Roofing today for a free roof inspection before the league said. Keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing, Arizona's #1 referred roofer. All you have to do is just visit state48roofing.com. That's state48roofing.com, or call them 480-268-4828. That's 480-268-4828. Pretty simple in this one. All you have to do is just go to X, go to @Roc and Manuch, and also on Instagram @Roc and Manuch. Who takes home the trophy tonight? Is it A, the Indiana Hoosiers, or B, the Miami Hurricanes? So, Laz, I'm going to start with you. Who did you vote for, everybody?
The Hoosiers.
Okay, got the Hoosier, Jimmy B.
I went for Indiana as well.
I also went with the Hoosiers, and then Connor, who did you vote for, and what's the peeps have to say about this?
Looks like I'm in the minority here. I am rolling with the Miami Hurricanes in this game.
Okay.
And then it looks like the peeps are right now split. We have a 50-50 split. 50% going Indiana, 50% going Miami.
Okay. Look, I think it's going to be a hell of a game. I really